Hi everyone, welcome back to Melbury Estate in FS15. Here we are. Beautiful evening sunset. Look at this. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, here we are. As you can see, I've finished harvesting this field as I said I would, and we started baling as well. There is quite the bales on here. We actually missed a tuft of crop there, but never mind. Yep, let's just finish off the baling. That's probably our task for this evening, just to get the baling done. And then I'll be happy. Bring up the HUD so I can see what I'm doing. Switch the baler on, switch it down. Put the handbrake off, that will help enormously. And away we go. So as you can see over there, I also lined all the straw with the liner and the little massey over there. Fantastic little piece of work. See, I'm trying to find jobs for it. Keep the little thing employed because, you know, I don't want to find it becoming redundant and having to get rid of it for the sake of getting rid of it. So I'm glad it can still do little tasks like that, which is perfect. Come on, that one last 1% of the bale. There we go. Zoom out a bit. I always find, because you see that little piece of metal that sort of struts out, that obviously is to stop the bale coming back and smacking it, but it's also because there's a bit of a slope to this hill. If I pull forward slowly, it stops them rolling down the hill, which is quite nice as well. Yeah, the number of times I've had to stop a bale rolling down a hill, it's been quite a lot. But yeah, it's looking nice, isn't it? It's nothing like a nice field of straw bales. It must be something pleasing to the human eye, because otherwise they wouldn't sell so many calendars with straw bales in fields. You know, it's obviously something that we, for some reason, just love. Wow, I stop on the 99% every time. Will this one start rolling downhill? Let it stop wibbling. No, it's okay. Not that it matters, they'll just collect at the hedge at the bottom, but it's nice to have them in place where we actually use them. It's getting a bit dark now, but I wanted to get this field done before evening descends. It's a good thing about the summer. Nice long evenings, especially here. It's obviously based on the UK map, and in the summer in the UK, it's light. I say light. It's, you know, it's 9 o'clock now in game. Oh, there he goes. Bye, Mr. Bale. It's 9 o'clock in game at the moment, and normally it's light, i.e. you can still walk around without any problems till about 9:45. We always say about 10 o'clock, but it's kind of really dusky about 10 o'clock then. Mr. Chuck will collect that in a bit. I'll just roar down here. We'll just see if we can stop this bale. Nope, straight through the tyre. How did that work? There we go. Right, let's continue. Now we've stopped that rampaging bale. I know many people have probably said, oh, you should have got the square baler because you don't have to worry about the stopping and unloading it. But no, there's something nice about round bales, isn't there? I like round bales. A lot better than the little square ones, or the little square ones you used to get years ago. But you still do, you know, because they're good for things like hay for horses and that kind of thing. So you can carry them. These things, obviously, you can push the round bales, but you can't really lift the size of the bales these days, unless you're some sort of Mr. Universe. Just gonna go around there and collect it all. Whee! I've become quite a perfectionist when it comes to collecting straw now. I don't like the odd bits of tuft here, there and everywhere. Yeah, so one of the things that I was going to mention, which is probably a good time now, if I just hop out of here, you can see I've got the Bale extension on. So it calculates the humidity of each bale, the amount of straw, obviously, and the quality. So this is top quality straw at the moment, worth about £140 a bale, which that seems incredibly a lot. But yeah, so if you leave them outside and it rains, then obviously the humidity will increase, and it can affect things like when you silage it, especially for for grass bales and that kind of thing. Obviously, it affects the quality. So if it's too wet, then the quality will start to rot inside, and no one wants a wet, soaky, rotty bale. So the value of it goes down as well. So it's just a little extension which adds something. Just so basically, it's so you look after your bales. So if you want to store them, you stick them under a shed. Of course, for something like grass, there it goes. You don't particularly want it to be fully dried out, because you want a bit of moisture from them, and to a certain extent, hay. I know that may sound silly because hay is dried grass, but if you get too dry hay and it's dusty, then if you got something like horses, for example. I grew up with horses, so I tend, most of my examples tend to be horses. I'm sorry, but that's what we had when I was growing up. So horses is pretty much what I know. Yeah, if you have too a dusty kind of too dry a hay, then that'll give the horses a cough, and it's not very good for the horses. I'm guessing it's probably similar for other animals, although probably cows and stuff are probably a little bit more robust when it comes to that kind of thing, because they can pretty much eat anything, can't they? Whereas horses, they can't eat too much. If it's too wet, they get colic and all sorts of problems. So I think horses might just be the drama queens of the animal world, but yeah, certainly when it comes to things like that with the horses, you do have to look after the hay and the straw. Well, not the straw to an extent, but the hay and the grass they eat. There we go. Right, let's just go and get that little tuft we missed back here, and then that is a good one. That is a bale full field. Bale full field? Is that correct? No, probably not. But there we go. Let's just hook that up. Brilliant. Done. Job done. Right, let's stick some lights on. I'll go and park this baler up. Oh, I love how it still induces lag. Hopefully when they bring out Farm Sim 17, whoops, okay, we're in the UK, I've forgotten that. I've just been playing a different game where I was obviously in Europe and I was driving on the other side of the road. The Bale wasn't at this yard, was it? It was at the other yard. Okay, not to worry. I'll park that there for now, and we'll hop out. Let's turn the lights off so the battery doesn't get flat. Nice. Okay, so over here we have so these, as I said, this is where we store the various grains and stuff, and in here is where we've been storing the barley, which I just need to empty this one actually. Yeah, as you can imagine, I may get a new trailer, because although it is possible to reverse these trailers, as you can see here, evidently, it's a complete faff. So that little that kind of hinge on the front axle is a bit of a pain. Nice. How much barley is there? How much do we get on that harvest? 75,000 litres. Hoo-yah! That's 75,000 litres there, peeps. Impressive, I'm sure you'll agree. Right, let's bring the steering wheel down. I've also put the harvester away as well. So let's nope, drop that. I always get those two keys mixed up. So we could, I guess, there's a couple of things we could do. We could leave the bales out to dry out a little bit. Obviously, for storing straw, that's probably a good thing, dry straw. let's just check the weather, see what that's going to be. If it's going to be damp tomorrow. No, we've got a couple of days of sunshine, and it's not till Saturday that we're expecting some adverse weather. So I'm probably going to leave those bales out for a day or two. And hopefully that will allow them to dry out, and we can store them, and all should be good. Right, let's just... That's a close call. Now I did collect a wagon load of this, of straw in the forage wagon, and I thought we'd probably get the cows are going, because we all like cows. We all like cows, don't we? And we all like... It's one of those things, we really wanted to do the dairy in North Brabant, and while we did it, we didn't, you know... The animals don't have... They're not as involved as I would like them to be, if that makes sense. I'd like you to have to care for them a little bit more. A little bit like Agricultural Simulator 2013. Sorry to go back to that. That did have a lovely charm where, you know, you were... I guess you were forced to actually spend more time looking after the animals, you know. I know it was quite mundane, i.e. moving sacks of corn around and milk urns around and that kind of thing, but it just felt like you were doing more with the animals. Now, I would like a mod if they could, you know, like sheep, if you had to dip them, and then, you know, that would be quite an interesting thing. Do they still dip sheep these days? Probably not. But these, obviously, they probably just put spray on them now. But yeah, it used to be dipping back in the day. So let's go into the... I'm hoping I can drive into the cow barn that way. No would be the answer. Okie dokie, not a problem. I like this farmyard. It's tight enough to make it interesting, but not too tight that you can't drive around it. It's quite nice, even in this huge beast of a tractor. Right, do we reckon we go in there or that one? Let's just have a quick snoot about. So this is obviously where the feed goes, and there's the bedding in there. What's on that side then? Whoops. Okay, it's probably where we take them out. I don't know. Let's see if we can get in there. No, this does look a little bit tight. Let's just spin round in the grass field, actually. We don't own any cows now, and we've got lovely pasture for them. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's just spin round and see if we can't come in from this angle. What we really need to do is move that, and then we'll be able to swing in. Yeah, that's too tight for this tractor. Okay, we'll come in from the other angle then. So this ideally would be where the Massey would come into its own, although it doesn't have a mid-hitch, so we can't use this trailer with it. Can we squeeze in there? Hopefully, yes. There we go. Perfect! Right, let's start offloading the straw. I'm not sure how much bedding it will take. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. The rest we can go and pump into the mixed feed ration machine. If we can get out. Is that going to make it round? Oh, yes. Thread in the eye of a needle here. And then I go blatting around the farmyard at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's probably not a good idea. Let's just take it nice and easy. That's the good thing about the Xbox controller. Although it's not perfect, you can, you know, do slow speed with the controls. Good old analog controller. Right. Which one's straw? Straw is the first one. Okay. Or the furthest one from us. Bit of in-cab action. Excelente. Watch that straw rise. Brilliant. Then we need some grass. So we'll get some mowing done soon. And silage as well. Okay. I feel a day on the meadows coming on. So we can get some grass cut. Nice. Whoops. This thing doesn't half accelerate quickly. Gate post there, watch out for that. Okay, we're away. So now we've got some straw. We obviously need to get some feed, so grass ideally, to get the cows up and running. Obviously not at full production value, but just to get them up and running. So yeah, next time we will be getting some grass, I feel. Or maybe we could do some grass now, actually. Now that the evening's coming. Just desperate to go for an episode without having horrendous crashes every 5 seconds. There we go. I'm getting used to this controller now. I know I'm probably going a little bit slower than most people would like, but I'm just trying to get used to it. It's new. It's new to me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. Right, let's just park you up here for a second. And let's go and have a look for where I think there's a biplane up there, look. I think they were in there, were they? No. So we got the plough and everything there. Bale, pick her up a majing. Some storage areas here. How much straw? We got a little bit. We got plenty more straw can go in there. That's fine. Grass, obviously, and silage we have none of. So we got a mower. It's only a one mower. Okay, that's fine. Let's just see which fields we have available to us to mow then. If one guy's going to mow, we need to mow a meadow. So, we got plenty of. 2 is right next to the farm. So that seems like the logical choice, doesn't it? Okay. We might as well use this beast as she's here. She's the closest one. Watch out, Chucky! Squish. How much money do we get? 44,000. I'm thinking we buy a front mower as well. Should we see how much the front mower is? Actually, let's see how much the full butterfly effect is, because that'll be interesting. Well, let's just have a quick look. Whoops. Double pressed it by mistake. Mowers. So we've got this one, and that's 52 plus 13 and a half. 65 and a half. Okay. I think I've got some... Okay, so this is cool. I don't know if anyone saw this. I think Daggerwin did a little demo on this. This is the little hedge trimmer that you see on the side of the road to trim the verges. It's gorgeous, so I downloaded it. The link's in the mod spreadsheet in the link below. So we can get some coon ones, which that'll be 50. Might be cheaper. That would be cheaper. That'd be 54 and a bit. We don't have that money though. So that's 11 and 11.8. What was the other one? 13. So hang on, that's the FC1525. And that's the 313. It's actually got a wider cutting thing, which is interesting. Okay, we'll buy that. And then we'll get that reset, and I'll show you the weird reset location. So let's reset that. Okay. We'll grab hold of this one. Nice. And then when we can afford it, we'll upgrade to the back one as well. Whoop, that's dancing about. A bit of a chicane through the farmyard, which is quite interesting. Keeps us on our toes. Right, so it resets into this field here, into field 1. You can see the real terrain bouncing on the old suspension. Do we have the front? No, we don't. Okay. So we need to lower the front. Watch the front arms come down. Clunk. Brilliant. Love that. That's it raised, is it? That seems incredibly low. Okay, well, we'll go with it. So field 2 is this one over here. Straight ahead. Bouncy, 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 bouncy on the ploughed surface. This doesn't seem... This seems recently mowed, doesn't it? You can tell it's a light yellow and the grass level is very low. So what did they say was the... Oh, it's growing still. Yes, it is. Okay, that's fair enough. I just didn't read that properly. So field 3, well, no, that's where the cows are, aren't they? So field 8 and field 8, which is across the road. That's fine. We'll use field 8 then. We'll get there eventually. Oh, there's an exit here, so we'll go up the road. That's perfect. Don't get too lost into the hedgerow. So we've got the beacon on, flashing away. It's that field directly in front of us now. Where is the entrance? There it is. Bit of a hill start. Jockeying the old clutch and the old throttle. Don't hit the post. I hit the post. Right, okay, so we got a lovely grass meadow here. Night's coming in. We get some evening trimming, mowing down. It will be an absolute treat. Right, switch that on. Let's unhook that or unfurl that. Drop that down, switch that on. And away we go. One guy went to... Oh, it's already done that. Already done that gag. Let's leave it. We can actually go straight through to the field ahead. Now, one of the beauties is... this is quite a nice little field, field 8. We could probably plough this up and use this as, you know, an arable field. So I'm out of interest. Can I close this gate? Is there a trigger on that gate? No, not that I can see. And that's just testing. Otherwise, you know, I didn't want to clip it. Got some weeds there. Don't think we cut the weeds down. Weeds seem to be ever present on these maps. I'm not going too close to the hedgerow. Well, most of the hedgerows in this map are non-collidable. Just want to keep it a little bit of realism. You probably wouldn't go right to the end anyway, or right to the edge. Yeah, a bit of late night mowing. Got a field 43 up there. That's also a grass meadow. Wow. We got a lot of meadow on our farm, which is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there's our corn right there. So probably next time we'll get the corn harvest done as well. A bit quick down the hill. Oh, there's so much to do. I absolutely love this map. It's gorgeous, isn't it? This I've got the vibe that I had with Glen Malore on Farm Sim 13. Now, of course, being 2016 now, we should expect to see at the end of the year the next farming simulator. Obviously, 2013 came out in 2012, end of 2012, I believe. 2015 came out at the end of 2014. So it's every 2 years. So it should be end of 2016. Farm Sim 17 is released. I think there have been announcements. I'm not sure if they've confirmed a date or anything like that. But that does give you a kind of perception on how things have gone for Farm Sim 15. Well, it's absolutely love this game, don't get me wrong. It doesn't seem to have done as well when it comes to things like modding as Farm Sim 13. If you think about it, we're pretty much two-thirds of its way through its life cycle to the next game, and the mods that are available for it are nowhere near as plentiful as they were for 2013. Now, don't get me wrong, I think some of the mods are technically far better, and they add far more to the game. But yeah, there's especially the maps. There's not as many maps as I would expect. Although some of the maps, like Colbert Park Farm, this one, Melbury Estate, Chellington Extended, absolutely gorgeous maps. And you know, there are several really high quality maps, which are lovely. But there's a lot of maps still in development, and you know, they're not going to get the life cycle they probably need. I know people will still be playing Farm Sim 15 when the new game comes out. People are still playing Farm Sim 13 and some of the earlier versions as well, because it's a good, solid game. But yeah, I just think we just haven't had the same level of modding that we've seen on the other ones. I say the quality in general has been a lot better, I think personally. Because some of the mods for 2013 were really hit and miss, weren't they? But yeah, I'd be interested to see what they chuck out for Farm Sim 17. Now, I know they were talking about getting a license from one of the manufacturers that look after things like milking parlours and animal care. So hopefully they'll have to readdress, or they will address the issues they've got around the animal care in the new mod. Also the new version. Hopefully we'll have things like pigs and, you know, things like turkeys and ducks. Why are they not being introduced? You know, they can use the same chicken mechanic but just use a different model. You know, it wouldn't take them hardly any time really to get that introduced to the game. But also I think I'd like to see more involvement in like things like the milking side. Now, you don't necessarily. There should be an option where you can have like hardcore dairy or simplified. Simplified dairy is, you know, could be something like we have in the game currently. You know, you just feed the cows and they automatically go through an automatic milking parlour. Fine, easy peasy, no problems. But I'd also like to see things like more complex dairy simulation coming in. So, you know, you actually herd the cows into the dairy. It's probably quite difficult to do, honestly, but maybe a set time during the day the cows will all wander into the milking parlour for, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours, and in that time you have a time window where you then, you know, manually have to put the milking apparatus on the cows and to get the milk out and that kind of thing. You know, it won't be for everyone, but that kind of detail I would enjoy. And things like the soil mods, you know, this, I feel Giants are, they're kind of, because they don't really have any competition, I think they kind of, they're not really pushing themselves for the next great farm sim game. They're just looking to add, yeah, a couple of little additions here, there and everywhere, polish it up a little bit more, and then chuck out a new game to make some more money. Which, you know, that is their business plan, nothing wrong with that at all. It's still a good game. No complaints, but you know, if they had a real top rival that could push them, then I think we'd see a lot more in the development stakes. For example, things like the soil mod, fantastic, very very challenging and but rewarding mod which is being created. That kind of thing in the game, and this could become a proper simulator then. It could. I would always say then you could always have it set to 2 levels, simplified or fully detailed. Where simplified, you can play the game as it is now, so you can just jump in, cut the grass, cut the corn, that kind of thing, cultivate, seed, fertilise, on you go. But to be a proper simulator, it'd be nice if you had real challenging, complex systems built into the fundamentals of the game, not added as a mod. These things, if mod authors can come up with these great things, then the paid developers should be able to implement something along those lines, but have it optional, because not everyone will want it. But I guess that is the problem. They don't want to spend money and time on something which may become an option. That's where companies like Bethesda are brilliant, because they will spend time and development in some of their games like Skyrim and Fallout and that kind of thing, developing all these quests, these side missions, these side things, which some people will never see, but the quality is no less. Actually, sometimes the quality on the side missions is far superior to the main story. But that's again, that's just one of those things. Wow, shall I come off my soapbox for a second? Yeah, let's come off my soapbox for a second and check where we are. So we're running quite well. The actual, I love the grass cutting textures. They're lovely, aren't they? It looks gorgeous. We're getting a smaller and smaller box as we go. Right, I have been rambling on for far too long. We've already gone over the half-an-hour mark, so it's probably time to give you a rest from my voice, and to give my voice a rest as well. So I will finish this field off screen, no problems at all. It's only going to take me like another 2 or 3 minutes. Next time we'll obviously be lining this into a nice organised way, so we can actually collect it with a forage wagon and maybe bale a couple of lines as well. And also we'll be we'll be kicking off with the corn harvest. So we'll get Sebastian in the harvester on the cornfield next to us while we work lining this grass field. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Super efficiently as well. We'll probably wait till morning. Obviously, we don't want to. We could harvest through the night, but visually for the videos, it's a lot better if we harvest during the day and we cut during the day. This kind of dusk is okay, but yeah, you don't want to watch a dark video with lights on. I know we can do it, but it's just visually better if we do it during the normal working hours. Yep, I know I've talked too much. My throat's getting dry and I'm about to cough. Right, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this second visit to Melbury Estate. I am loving this map. I really am. So pleased I picked it. Fantastic. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Thoughts and comments, as always, in the section below. Not about my driving, please, because it is atrocious. But I am getting better with this controller. Practice makes perfect, and I will be getting better. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you next time on Melbury Estate.